Listen, the Dodgers are historic. They are tied for the most World Series appearances, 5, by any National League team ever in a 9-year span. They are in the playoffs now, 13 straight years. That's one shy of a baseball record. The only team in baseball history to have MVPs batting 1, 2, 3 in the everyday lineup. Ohtani, number one, they're officially a dynasty. And number two, I'd argue they're the greatest team, most talented team ever. You say, Colin, what about the regular season? Folks, they don't care about it. They're going to make the playoffs. They overwhelm you with talent. What they do with the Dodgers, if you get injured during the season, they don't risk it. There is no rush back. They'll push you to September. And the Dodgers treat their players and stars like a great teacher treats her students. They're not going to hound you on attendance. Be great on the final. And that's how the Dodgers look at it. And this is a new phenomenon.
Stop calling it a good roster. Stop calling it a hot run. Because what's happening in Los Angeles is bigger than a season. It's bigger than a decade. The Dodgers aren't just winning, they're rewriting what MLB power looks like. And they're doing it in a way that makes the rest of the league look fragile. Here's the uncomfortable math. 13 straight postseason trips. Not most years. Not almost always. 13 in a row. One of the longest runs baseball has ever seen. And when a franchise stacks consistency like that, it stops being success. It becomes pressure. Pressure on every opponent. And pressure on the Dodgers themselves, because once you look like destiny, anything less than a ring feels like collapse. And if you think this is just regular season bullying, wait, because the Dodgers' dominance is actually built for the part of baseball that breaks other teams. Listen, this is where fans get emotional and the debate gets ugly. But what about the regular season? The Dodgers basically answer that with a shrug. Because they're engineered for October. They manage injuries like a corporation manages risk. No panic, no rushing, no short-term heroics that ruin the long-term plan. And then you zoom out. The Dodgers have 5 National League pennants in a 9-year span: 2017, 2018, 2020, 2024, 2025. They've appeared in 22 World Series, total 9 in Brooklyn, 13 in Los Angeles, and they've won 9 championships. This isn't a great stretch. This is a machine that keeps coming back no matter what you throw at it. But the real nightmare for the league isn't just the team's resume, it's the lineup at the top, because that's where the story turns from great to unfair. Baseball is usually about balance. 1 star, maybe 2. The Dodgers? They put you in a cage match from pitch 1. Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, and yes, Dave Roberts actually lined them up that way. Betts lead off, Ohtani second, Freeman third. 3 former MVPs stacked like a weapon. And that isn't just talent. That's psychological warfare. Because the pitcher doesn't get to breathe. There is no soft landing. And when the Dodgers strike early, you can literally watch opponents mentally tilt like, if we're already down 2 runs in the first inning, what does the 7th look like? Now here's where it gets personal, because before Ohtani became the Dodgers' weapon, he was the guy other superstars couldn't stop staring at. WBC 2023. Japan versus USA. The moment is tight, the pressure is nuclear, and Ohtani tells his teammates something that became legend: stop admiring them. Because admiration is soft. Admiration is surrender with a smile. Japan wins 3-2, and the quote goes global. That line matters because it's not just hype, it's how Ohtani operates. He doesn't perform like someone trying to be liked. He performs like someone trying to take your crown. And inside that US roster, one name Ohtani had specifically mentioned as someone he'd admired was Mookie Betts. So what happens when the man you once admired becomes your teammate and you realize the truth is even scarier up close? Betts knows what it means to climb. He wasn't born a top pick. He was drafted 5th round, 172nd overall, signing for $750,000, and he still became an MVP He's listed around 5'9", 175 centimeters, and about 180 pounds, 81 kilograms, not the prototype. And then he watches Ohtani and starts talking like a man who's seen something abnormal. Betts even got mic'd up in 2023 and openly flirted with the idea of Ohtani coming to LA. A public "come join us" moment. That's not casual. That's respect. Because elite recognizes elite. And if Betts's respect was loud, Freddie Freeman's reaction was something else, because he wasn't just impressed. He was genuinely confused. Freddie Freeman is not a hype merchant. He's a veteran, an MVP, a professional machine, and even he looked at Ohtani and basically said, "People don't understand the load." In 2024, Ohtani wasn't even pitching. He was coming off elbow rehab. Yet he did something MLB had never seen. 50 homers and 50 stolen bases in one season. And it wasn't cute history. It was violent, headline-grabbing domination. 54 homers in 2024. On top of that, on the way to another MVP-level season. That's the part that messes with teammates. Ohtani doesn't look like he's doing magic. He looks calm, like it's routine. Like greatness is his baseline setting. But the Dodgers didn't just collect records, they collected trophies. And that's where the story gets dangerous. Because winning once creates celebration. Winning twice creates enemies. The Dodgers won the World Series in 2024, and then they did it again in 2025. And at the rally, Ohtani looked at the crowd and said in English, "You guys are the greatest fans in the world, and I am ready to get another ring next year." That's not a quote, that's a warning, because now you're not chasing one ring, you're chasing legacy. You're chasing the word nobody wants to say out loud in baseball, three-peat. And the organization is already talking about it. And here's the dark truth. When a team starts smelling a three-peat, the league stops treating them like competitors and starts treating them like a problem that must be destroyed. And that takes us to the argument that's tearing baseball fans apart because, depending on who you ask, the Dodgers are either the league's masterpiece or the league's villain. Let's say the quiet part out loud. Half the baseball world is watching the Dodgers and thinking, "This is the greatest concentration of talent we've ever seen." The other half is thinking, "This is exactly what's wrong with the sport." Because when one team becomes the default destination for stars, every small market fan hears the same insult, "Try harder." But here's the counterpunch. The Dodgers don't just buy talent, they maximize it. They protect bodies. They build depth. They keep showing up. 13 straight postseasons doesn't happen by accident. So what is it? A dynasty? A super team? A cheat code? Maybe the scariest answer is, it's all of it. And that's why people can't look away. But if you want the real cliffhanger, it isn't the debate, it's what happens next. Because chasing a three-peat doesn't just create pressure, it creates the kind of weight that crushes teams. A three-peat doesn't just test talent, it tests sanity. Because every opponent plays you like it's Game 7. Every road series feels hostile. Every slump becomes a headline funeral. And Ohtani? In 2025, he didn't just mash, he pitched again, making 14 starts while still launching 55 home runs. That kind of two-way workload is not just rare, it's dangerous. One wrong tweak, one wrong month, and the thing that looks unstoppable suddenly looks human. So here's the question you should be asking right now. If the Dodgers actually pull off the three-peat, do we call this the greatest era ever? Or do we look back and say the league let one team become so powerful, it forced everyone else into desperation? Because either way, love them or hate them, you're watching the center of the sport, and the next chapter is going to make people furious. This is why the Dodgers are the story. They're not just winning, they're daring baseball to stop them. And the most terrifying part? The people closest to Ohtani Betts, Freeman, sound less like teammates and more like witnesses at a historic event. So now I want to hear from you. Is this the greatest team MLB has ever seen? Or is it the most dangerous imbalance the sport has created? Drop your take in the comments, because this argument isn't ending, it's escalating. And if you want the next breakdown the moment it drops, hit like, subscribe, and turn notifications on.